Greetings Earthlings, and join me as I tagged along on a several-week journey to help Raquel create chess pieces for her amazing dragon chessboard. We've been going back and forth for a few weeks figuring out the details of the project, and my job was basically to help how she saw fit. I had the privilege of making the rook, bishop, and pawn, which by the way are my favorite pieces. So I had lofty plans for the bishop in particular, which led me down a path of 3D printing some chess pieces. But believe me when I tell you that that was the wrong road. I took a U-turn, and as you can see, got right into sculpting these with Super Sculpey. It felt more genuine to the overall chess set anyways. Cohesion though was one thing that I was very concerned about. Admittedly, I kept pushing off starting to sculpt because I wanted to see what Raquel was coming up with so I could match that aesthetically. In the end though, I couldn't put it off any longer. We obviously needed to make molds for this, but in my tiny little brain, I hadn't considered the amount of time I would need to pour a single mold for 2 full chess sets worth of pawns. That is 32 pawns, and at roughly 10 minutes each, that's about 5 hours of cure time, not even mentioning the mixing and the pouring time. One thing I realized during this project was that the price of resin fluctuates a lot, and it's a lot more volatile than I thought. Exhibit A. Yeah, no. I definitely am, have that in mind. I just learned that yesterday, like night, so I have to... I did some multitasking, and somewhere along the way, when Raquel and I needed to exchange pieces, my brain once again failed me, and I sent her way less than she needed. This is all to say that when you're working with silicone and resin, or anything that's kind of tricky to get in a pinch, plan it out. Don't think you're hip like me, and just go with the flow. The flow seems nice, but it's like Hansel and Gretel. You follow the candy, but then there's a witch. And she's going to eat you. So, learn from my mistakes. In the meantime, and while I sand all of these pieces, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's watching still. And also thank you to these amazing people right here. I'll be honest, Patreon started as a why not situation. I didn't realize at the time that I would accumulate any, let alone as many people who wanted to support me in that way. It's incredible to me. And I think about it and I count that blessing literally every day. So again, thank you. Obviously, a chess set that is hand sculpted needs to be painted cool. Both Raquel and I had different ideas for our paint schemes, and I think they both turned out really, really good. You'll have to watch her video to see what she did, but I will tell you that it is a lot different from mine. And I think it has a very regal feeling to it. I'm not going to say that I defaulted, but I really just like painting corroded metals. So I turned to working with silver and bronze as a base and started to layer up the gunk. I started with some washes on both sets, which was a good start, but I wanted to push that look even further and added the last bit of weathering that I thought that they deserved. Naturally, I went with my homemade rust and verdigris washes. I ended up doing some dry brush highlighting as well, just to pull some of the shininess from the metallics back out. The process for painting on the washes was dead simple. I just followed the deeper recesses and sometimes even just painted over the whole thing, and then tried to wipe off as much of the wash as possible. For most of them, I only did this once and achieved the effect I was going for, but you can do this as many times as you want to get a more weathered look. I will say though, less is usually more when it comes to effects like this. Overall, I'm really happy with my contributions. More importantly, Raquel was happy and all of the pieces on her board look incredible. I couldn't be more thankful for the opportunity to contribute my work to her project. So if you're here watching my video first, be sure to go watch hers next. You can also watch her build the chessboard as well in a previous video. All the videos mentioned are in the description below. I really appreciate your time here, and I hope you come back for more. I've got some fun links in the description if you'd like to see more of my work and support me in other ways as well. Until next time, peace out.